Warning, the following may contain scary mermaids. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. After a tense dinner with the Baron, the party is becoming increasingly suspicious of the man. Kellen suggests they try to make their escape during the night, despite the Baron's expectations to meet with them again in the morning.
Martha is showing you upstairs. Guys, up on the second floor, and it's just a beautiful galley that runs again along the mansion. Framed landscape paintings here, red silk drapes cover like a big, like a 10-foot arch window of leaded glass at the end. You know, it's a nice opulent, like hallway basically here. She carries a wee lantern and she walks you along to past a few doors, and you've got twin doors that she leads you to, and she says, these will be your rooms tonight. Sleep well.
Martha, do you have a maid that went missing recently?
Yes, that's right. We had a number. We've had a couple of staff members actually disappear recently. Yes.
Have they? And how long has what's that gentleman with the strange-looking arm? How long has he been in the employ?
Isaac. Isaac. He's been here. I mean, he's been here longer than I have. I've been here 5 years. So, it's the butler and the maid. Though in the last week they've just disappeared. I reckon
the butler and the maid.
That's right. I mean, it's not unusual in Vallaki, but to have the two of them disappear so quickly, I suspect they've run off with each other.
Did Isaac try to investigate it, or
he has been charged with it? Yes.
Has he found anything? Do you know?
Not that I've heard so far. To be honest, it's not really his forte. He's more of a muscle man, Do
you know what his room is in the manor?
Isaac?
Yeah.
Why would you want to know that?
If any trouble,
why would we want to know that?
If any trouble were to arise, we would know immediately where to run to for help.
Oh God!
Well, he's the first door on the right, just after you go up the stairs.
I see. And if we wanted to get some wine but didn't want to bother anyone and wanted to go down into the basement, would that be all right? Is there a wine cellar down there?
And she sort of giggles a little bit. She says, you do misbehave, don't you? We don't have a basement, but if you head to the very back door of the hallway downstairs, that's where the kitchen is, and there are a few kegs that you could tap.
No wine cellars, no dungeons, nothing like that.
A dungeon? No, I mean you know where the cells of Vallaki are. I believe you were in them earlier.
Oh, that's true. That is true. We were. Well, we probably smell like it.
I do not like how we're treating Martha as if she were just some steward of information. Martha, I would like to say your victuals were incredible. Your meal was amazing. Your cooking is superb, and we thank you very, very much for your service and your hospitality.
That's very kind of you. It's been a while since anyone said that to me, actually. She kind of blushes and sort of begins to back away.
No, wait, before you go, and this is just idle curiosity. I am a fan of architecture. Are there any rooms in particular that a student of architecture and just of like environs might enjoy? Like, are there attics or sort of cubbies? Places that you might not like show your average guest piece. I personally like the little frills,
hidden nooks.
Yes, the hidden nooks, the crannies.
I mean, obviously,
You're asking Martha about her.
No.
Leave it.
That is so charming.
I spend most of my time down in the kitchen. Obviously,
I understand.
Here there's the upstairs rooms. I'm not up here that much unless I'm bringing any food to the master if he's in the library. Victor sometimes works, and I know he he works up here sometimes, but there is an attic.
Yeah.
But, it's just used for storage. I think I've never been in.
Yes, why would you go there? That's dreadful. Well, thank you, Martha. You are a lovely, lovely soul, and we appreciate your help this evening.
And there's no rumors of ghosts or any hauntings or anything along those lines in the house, are there?
Ghosts?
Vampires chained in little...
McCrack! No.
Any old or any recent disturbances along those nights, superstitious things like that?
Nothing like that. No, it's just the fact that we've had our staff has been depleted. It's been quite tough on us. Like, I've got to do jobs like usher guests up to rooms and then not let me go when I've got other jobs to do down in the kitchen. Inconveniences like
terrible.
that.
That's terrible.
Yes, we should let her go. We should let her go.
And we're already looking forward to the breakfast in the morning.
Yes.
Thank you. That's pressure
Thank you.
I could have lived without. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
And she backs away and she heads away.
Yes.
Okay. So you've got 2 rooms, guys?
Good to have to harass every person we meet. I feel like it's an interrogation with every stranger. I swear, it's a chimney sweep. Let's talk about his mother.
I invite you all into my room for a nightcap, and instead of having this conversation in the hall.
All right.
I open the door and I gesture for everyone to enter.
Which we do.
And I close the door behind us.
Okay. So this is a room with 2 single beds in it, both well furnished, but plain. It's clearly this is a guest room. There's not really, it doesn't get a lot of use, but it seems to be well kept, plain, but ornate. Sorry, ornate. Sorry.
Any calls for a perception check here?
You may take a perception check if you.
Any mops?
Oh God!
Oh, 18. That's a fine throw.
That's not 18. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Perception. That's a 20. Or rounded off.
No, I mean it's. There's nothing. There's not a lot in here, to be honest. You've got obviously your beds. Got a couple of seats to sit on, but there's no clothing is stored in here or anything like that. So it's all very fine furniture. The drapes are kept in well. They're obviously well washed, looked after, but there's nothing of particular interest in here.
How hard is it to get down to the ground from through the window? Is there a nice drain spout?
So yes, there's no drain spout. It's be about a 10-foot drop if you were trying to drop.
That's not bad.
How can I do that?
Your ankles.
Yes.
So I turn to my friends and I say, so the question, I believe, is, do we escape tonight and head off after Irina? I think the most obvious course. Or do we poke around a little bit more in the manor and dig a little more into the strange oddities of this household? The missing servants. And so
I would like to hear Master Suna's intuition on this point, because I feel befuddled about it. What do you think?
Well, I am torn between the urge to stay, because I think lots of bad things are happening here in Villaki, and if we leave, they will continue. And we've just given the people a good and very well-deserved ounce of hope and laughter and actual joy, and to have it taken from them by the strange workings of the burgomaster and his strange Isaac companion, and also this son that we haven't seen, Victor.
Yes.
That sounds strange. No one wants to say what exactly he's working at. People go missing. I don't know. Here's the question. I think it was before. So, do we stamp out the embers or do we go towards the fire? I feel like this is an ember of the same burning evil that we would strike at if we go directly at the unspeakable. But if we stay here, I think that we may just be stamping upon embers.
So you think we should cut to the chase, as it were? And Irina, who is to say that she will be held for much longer at this tiny camp? They may have already begun to transport.
It may be too late already.
and we have an obligation to her because we
We
know
do.
that Strahd
I
is
feel we do.
looking
I
for
feel
her.
we do. Yes.
Yeah.
And if we keep accruing obligations, we'll
Wherever we
never
go.
save anyone. At some point you have to.
Everybody we speak to in Ravenloft imposes an obligation upon us.
This is true.
So far, apparently, no one is doing well.
No.
That's what we've taken this. McVag, McKellen.
I would suggest we kill Isaac
Okay,
in his sleep. Kill Isaac in his sleep, and then get the hell out of here.
Okay, well, that's
we did so well against the vampires in their sleep.
We can just light them on fire and run out.
Well, we
That's
should
worked
put it to a
lot.
vote.
I mean,
We'll
seriously,
put
that
it.
has worked a lot.
Okay, but think politically what the repercussions could be.
The Baron doesn't serve us quite as nice a meal next time.
They don't let us come back to town next time. Look, you have already made us strangers to very friendly ports.
But we already have our friends at the Blue Water Inn. They're looking out for us. They'll know how to find us. We don't necessarily have need to come back to Vallaki.
I will say this: a barbarian's instinct is not always wrong, and I do appreciate that. If everyone else agrees that we should allow Kellen to kill Isaac in his sleep, I will not disagree. But Lord Talfrin, Master Suna, what do you think?
Master Suna?
As much as I would like to stay and set things right, I think I prefer to go after Irina and see if we can get to the bottom of this Strahd business. Because I, for one, I'm sick and tired of this entire place and just really want to go home. And it seems to me that going through Strahd is the only way that we can go home.
Well said.
Well, I don't think we are yet ready to tangle with Strahd, but I do believe that we owe it to Irina to rescue her as quickly as we can.
Yes.
We have no guarantees that she won't be transported by horseback towards Strahd's castle at any moment. You will recall when he confronted us, he did desire her. But I believe we must mount a rescue. And
would the Vistani actually give her to him? Because, I mean, I know that they do serve Strahd, but they also work against him.
It sounded like an uneasy alliance.
Yeah.
But can we risk it? Either way.
We've already risked it because it's been 2 days now.
But not that we had no control over. Now that we have the knowledge, I feel that we should move with all haste. I think we should escape. We should gather some horses, and we should requisition some horses, and we should gallop with all haste towards the Vistani camp.
What about me killing Isaac before we go?
I don't think we should kill Isaac because, one, that would be expending resources and risking getting caught up in events here. And you may be wounded. We may all be in trouble. That is just an unnecessary complication that would prevent us from riding to Irina's.
It is true, Kelly. We need you. We need you.
I am just. There's something disturbing about him. What if you, the actor or the wizard, uses their power?
You know our names. You know our names.
John Malame.
That's right.
Lord Talfrin uses your powers of creating illusions and have a vampire appear in his room and just see how he reacts to it. I worry he might be in league with Strahd in some way.
My instincts differ. I believe that he is not in league with Strahd, but rather he is his own evil. I fear that he may be and he's also been here longer than Martha. That was why I was badgering the help, Jean Mallarmé. If he had only
badgering is the word. She is a innocent and very lovely woman.
Jean, when the time comes and you may be able to return to the tower, I fully support your attempt to return to Vallaki and ask Martha to join you. Until then, please keep your emotions in check. This is A
And did
professional
you
mission. A
taste her
professional.
skewers? Oh, sumptuous.
Those metaphors are getting mixed. Regardless, I believe we should ride for the Vistani camp with all haste.
Is there a way to get out of the city at night? Because as far as I remember, I mean, it's been months ago.
We are the
84
heroes.
years. But,
We are the heroes of the Silver Dragon. I'm sure we can demand them.
We can get out of this. Yes, we can leave.
Because they have walls, and there will probably be like manned gates.
Yes, we write up to the men and say, "Do you know who we are?" And they say yes, and then we say, "Then open this."
Say we're on a mission from God.
Yes.
Go on the golden chariot with the unicorn, with me waving the
Right. We have minor illusions and major illusions. We'll get out of here. Like, I think that the point is we should leave now.
Now, or pretend to go to sleep and then leave at night.
I agree with Master Sonna there.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll take a cat nap. We'll take a power nap.
Sure.
And then we're a little rested. We'll make a rope out of the bed sheets. We'll escape.
I'll write a love letter to Martha. Yes.
Yes, we can't stop you. And then we will go to the stables. We'll requisition a chariot, or maybe two, and we will subtly gallop down the center of town with fireworks. No. We'll make our way to the gate and then find our way to the Vistani camp.
Yes. Let's do that.
All right. Is it agreed?
Yes.
Dear Martha. Yes, it's agreed.
Agreed.
All right. Lord Talfrin lies down on the bed, removes his monocle, and closes his eyes for a cat nap.
Okay. You can have.
And Jean Monnet lies next to him and does the same.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Shoves his onto the bed where he falls with a thump.
I'm going to stand watch. I don't trust this place.
Oh, yeah, you should watch this.
Good, McGrath. That's good.
Okay.
Good.
Master Sonna, what are you doing?
That's a good question. So, do I stay in the room that's tightly packed with three men, or do I go to
meditate in the corner,
bedroom?
like, you know?
Oh, we're past that, Master Sonna.
That's true. That's true.
We are.
I will take. I think I will. I need a bit of a meditation. Actually, I will not sleep, but meditate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Great stuff. Kellen, you're on watch. So, would you like to take a perception check, please?
You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Kellen.
Kellen.
The microphone is off.
Mr. Barbarian.
13.
So you're aware. I mean, there's obviously movement in the house. It's not like unlike other homes that you've been in Barovia. The people here are actually alive and have their, you're aware of movement within the house, but nothing untoward jumps out at you. And obviously, as time goes on, as it becomes later at night, less sounds, and you're pretty convinced that most people are either asleep or are down for the night anyway. They're in their rooms for the rest of the night. So what's the plan, guys?
So we wake up. Is this like the first watch is done? We like.
I'll wake up Jean and Lord Talfrin.
I think we should tie the sheets together and with the curtains and just sort of create a rope for I know 10 feet seems like nothing, but as you get older, your knees get more brittle. And there's no reason to waste them. And so we should just crawl out the window down the line that we created and safely descend to the ground.
Why not just go down the stairs?
Because we might run into people, or people might hear us leaving. We're not all of us.
Were the stairs, were the floorboards creaky as we...
McCrack, how much would you say you weigh?
Oh, probably a solid 2 bills.
Right. Yeah, I fancy our chances being quiet going out the window.
I drop faster than you all.
But you have stouter knees. You have the knees of a mountain. You'll be fine. I have the knees of a thespian, and I will not be fine.
So what's the plan?
We're jumping out the window.
No. I have created a rope from our bed sheets and one of the curtains, and I will be the first to test it because I am the lightest and don't want to die, and so I'm going down, and it seems to be going great. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Would you
I've
like
made
to
it.
take an acrobatics check, but you can take it with advantage because of your bedsheet rope.
Okay. Acrobatics plus 12. What's what advantage means? Like two
It
rolls?
means you get to do 2 rolls and pick the highest roll.
15.
Yeah, no, so you get down. Doesn't seem to be too much of a bother to you. You are standing.
It's no problem. Kellen, you can make it. You got it.
Let's all scream really, really loud.
Sorry.
Who's next?
I'll go.
Go. Advantage.
What am I checking?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Oh man. 19.
Oh yeah. No, you're fine as well.
So we make a basket of our arms, Kellen. Let's catch whoever falls. You know.
Going to be me.
Yes, it is.
Do I have some means to? No, I don't. All right. Lord Talfrin edges up onto the windowsill, cursing the indignity, gives Master Sana a solemn goodbye salute, and then just topples backwards out the window.
What?
You're not holding on to the rope?
No, I mean, I'm going to try, but effectively that's what I'm doing because my acrobatics is only +1. 14?
Yeah, no, you're fine. So it's awkward to watch, and your hearts are in your throat as it seems like one of the most unnatural movements you've ever seen Lord Talfrin try to make, but he manages to get down without harming himself in any way. So
my dignity remains unimpaired.
So, Master Sana, it's yourself.
I will actually. I'm going to roll up the coil of bed sheets so that our escape isn't immediately visible. Because I have an ability called slow fall. Ooh. So I'm going to gracefully jump out of this window and nothing will happen to me.
Right. So what does that look like? What does it look like for the others as they see you jump out?
Good question. So I climb onto the windowsill and sort of jump into a graceful air dive, and my impact is as soft as a feather.
Excellent. There we go. Wasn't that delightful, guys?
Yeah. One Talfrin gets a little golf clap.
Thank you.
So you're now out in the garden, guys. I mean, it's there's a small wall between you and the rest of the town. It's not going to be an issue for you to traverse that. What's your plan in Vallaki?
Are we grabbing horses? Do we agree? Are we grabbing horses?
Yeah, does the Baron have stables?
Well, he and his wife were certainly riding horses, so there must be something on his grounds for them to be stored in.
Perhaps we shouldn't steal the Baron's horses because that would arouse the most.
Because he's going to be happy that we absconded on him anyway.
Well, if we steal his horses to boot, I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, we can hoof it ourselves.
No pun intended.
Okay.
Well, it was slightly intended.
Couldn't we go to like there's a tavern maybe somewhere, or like stables where we could get horses and like sort of ride up to the gate and say, "Ho, gate guardians, we're on a mission from the burgomaster."
I think we should
get
keep
that out of our way.
Taverns.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there is the Blue Water Inn, obviously. I think it's the only one you're aware of, anyway, in the town.
Well, those are our friends. Maybe they can loan us horses. I mean, we're on a mission to go to the winery.
I do think you've had this conversation with them before, and they've not done it.
Yeah. Well, let's. You know what? Let's fit the heroic mold and not steal any horses. We can walk. I hate to say it.
Yes.
But
Saunter.
let's stroll towards the city gates.
Okay.
And curb our requisitioning impulses.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, you make your way through the town. It's obviously not very busy. There are some guards walking along every so often, and they sort of give you a wee smile and a salute as they see you walk past. There's looks of recognition, but they seem to react pleasantly to you. You're aware that a couple of posters have popped up, and they're very similar to the posters that you saw a few days ago, advertising the Festival of the Blazing Sun. But this time, it's very strange. The very first poster that you see, it's got a man on it with the head of a wolf. It's strange because it's obviously the Wolf's Head Jamboree was the festival last week, not this one. And then there's just a line underneath it, and it says, all part of the act. And just this big sort of dragon motif sort of bordering it. So it just seems very unusual. You walk along a little bit more, and there's another poster up along the wall, and it's this sort of strapping sort of caricature of a man where it's just like seems to be all muscle, wearing nothing but like sort of furry underpants basically, and he's got this massive double-handed axe in his hand, like he's baring his teeth, and it's just underneath it just says, I kill people, or I kill things for a living. Big dragon motif again.
Damn right.
So, and then you do realise that like what you're seeing here is yourselves. We get a Lord Talfern. We've got this wizard complete with sort of wizard hat and big mustache and beard, and nothing like Lord Talfern, but everything like a caricature of a wizard and shooting multiple fireballs out. No words underneath. I
surreptitiously pull it down and fold it and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Posterity.
There's
I want to autograph mine, but all Kellen knows how to do is an X.
Okay. The next one's like a wise, sort of bald old woman in sort of these sort of well-fitting robes, and her hand, instead of her hands, it's shining light, and it just says underneath, "They find my touch unbearable." And of course, you realise this is all sort of propaganda for the Order of the Silver Dragon, and you can actually see Malak's signature underneath these once you realise that he's been drawing artwork of you guys. So anyway, we make our way through the rest of the town, and you come to the western gate of Falaki. There are 2 guards there, and they stand to attention as they see you approach. And the first one, she looks at you and she goes, Are you the heroes of the Silver Dragon?
Why, yes, we are. You're a sharp-eyed young man, I can tell. You're going to go far.
Even without the, I'm a lady, and even without the wolf's head, like
little pursuit, I suppose.
You're pretty distinctive. It's a real honor to meet you. It's inspiring.
Yes. Well, we've been tasked by the Baron himself to do a perimeter check. So if you'll excuse me, we have to come through.
Would you like to take a deception check?
No. I would, actually. That's a 23.
So she goes, certainly that makes a lot of sense. Do you want a hand? Can I help you?
No, I fear that fighting vampires is something best left to heroes.
I quite like.
So
I quite like.
Maybe one day, if you train hard and you stay brave and you do what's best for the people of Falaki, you too may become a hero and fight vampires as well.
Do you really think I could? Do you think I've got it in me? And she kind of strikes a pose as much as she's able to awkwardly do.
Well, let's see. Yes, I see the makings of a fine warrior, but you need to remember that it's not just the ability to swing a sword that makes a hero. It's serving the common people and remembering that at all times they are your true master and not any order that goes against their best interests.
She kind of looks confused a little bit, but she just nods her head and salutes. And she goes, yes, sir. I'll remember that, and thank you. It means a lot.
Tell all your fellow guardsmen too.
That means a lot.
Yep.
Are you all right? Do you know your way around here? The perimeter of the city is okay.
Yep.
All right, that's fine. Well,
do we have? I turn to my friends. Do we have torches?
I've got some. We've got some lanterns. We could spare you some lanterns, right? And our fellow guards sort of nods, and they bring out two. We've got wee sort of guardhouses close by, and they bring out two sort of lanterns, sort of shutter lanterns that they could lend you.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's fine. No, anything for you guys. The rest of them back at the garrison won't believe it when they hear.
Yes, with any luck, we have done the perimeter in about half an hour. But if we're not back by dawn, fear the worst.
Go look for us northeast of the city.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. No. We'll see you soon. And then,
all right. Take care.
They open up the gates, and you get to walk back out into the wild night of Barovia, and it is like almost stepping across a threshold. I don't know if you recall when you first entered Vallaki, it was the first time since you came here that there was already the absence of the mists. But as you take a step over, obviously take a step over, guys, and you realise that beyond the walls of the town is just wild woodland, dark, and this pervasive mist just seems to be lurking just beyond the path.
Crit-Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit-Faced fan group.